Good morning. So it's been a while since I've done a landscape video, obviously with COVID and whatnot, but I've started to get into it again, and I've decided to do something a bit different this one. Today we're heading off to the peaks. We're going up to Mam Tor, Winnet's Pass and Bamford Edge, but we're doing something slightly different. We're not taking the XT3 out today. We're taking this out, which is my Lubitel 166B medium format film camera. That takes 120 film, and we've got some we've got some Kodak Ektar 100 ISO 100 120mm film that we're going to be putting in. It's some colour. Now I've had this about 2-3 years now, and I've only used it once for some black and white car photography. So that was handheld, and the exposure was okay, but the focus was a bit blurry because of my hands. Now I haven't got a light meter to get my meter in, so I'm using an app, so this could go all wrong, but we will see. So what we're going to do now is we're going to load the film, pack up and head off. So I will see you on site. Okay, so we're just going to load the film now. This is the second time I've ever done this, so first time on camera. So we've got the roller there where the film's going to go to. We put the roller in there, so what we have to do is clip it in there, put it up here, roll it a bit, close it, then we wait here, then there's a couple of arrows, then it says Kodak and it says 1, then we close it, ready for taking pictures. So, here goes nothing. So we've got my film, the Ektar 100, we take the label off, got no nails, so it's not as easy as you think it is. There you go. That's what needs to go up there, so what we'll do is we'll place it in like that, then hopefully, there you go, it's quite tight, so get this ready to receive it. So place it in like so, and then that should be in, and then make sure it's tight. Oh, it's come out. As I say, it's very tricky, and this is the second time I've ever done it in my life, so hopefully, no, it's come out again. So what we might need to do is just give it a bit more slack. It's also not easy. Oh, there you go, that might help. Put that in there. There was a bit that flopped down that I didn't see. Make sure that's like that, and then make sure it's tight. Fold it up a bit. Then we can see we got those arrows now, so we'll close it. And here, I'm not sure if you can see whether it will be in focus or not. Let's put it here so you can see. We've got the arrows. Put one past, then keep folding it. Keep going. There's an arrow to say slow down. Then there should be, in a minute, Kodak, you couldn't see it, and then there should be a number 1 in a minute. Oh, there's Kodak just gone, and oh, 2. So I think I've gone past it. I think we're only going to get 11 shots out of this, because I've gone past it, number 1. How well, never mind. So we are now ready to shoot. Okay, so we went to Mam Tor and then to Winnet's Pass, and the parking was heaving. They weren't any on the road, so I was like, we're not going to drive half an hour to Bamford and not see anything and not get anywhere. So what I've done is I've changed my plan a little bit, and I've come to a basin here. Let me swing you round so you can see what we're looking at the moment. So there's this gorgeous basin that we passed just coming up to Buxton. I think it's called Bugsworth, but I'm not too sure, but I'll put the name in a minute. And what we're doing is we're now just going to shoot here. So right now we're shooting a couple of bridges with the water leading up, and then we've got 2 tunnels going under the bridges. I've shot 2 images back there, and hopefully they've come through. So we're shooting, as I say, swing you around again, and then we're shooting on this thing today. So we have got it set up now. We are using ISO 100 film, We're at f8 and we're at 125th of a second according to my app. So let me see if I can show you what we're looking at. So there you go. So I'm not sure if you can see that or if it's even in focus, but yeah, we're shooting at that. There we go, and we're going to shoot in a minute and then move down. But as you can see, let's go behind me, you've got all these boats, so I'm going to try and get some of that. When we was on the other side of this tunnel here, one boat did reverse, so I did get that in, but I'm not sure how good it's going to look. So yeah, I'll take this, move on, and I'll catch up with you soon. Okay, so we've done shots now. I didn't film most of them, there's a lot of people around and I didn't want it to be too busy, so I've took 10. I've got one left because we wound the camera left too much, so I've not got my 12th one. But then I ended up bumping into a mate, Darren, and his sister Natalie, and we've just had a pint and something to eat in the Navigator in here in Bugsworth, and this is Bugsworth Basin where I am. So I'm going to head off to DS Colour Labs, I think it's called, in Didsbury, to get the film put into negatives, have it some 5x5 prints, and then also put it on CD. There is one image I want to do, because that's why I've kept one left for an old bus stop there, which we're going to try and take a picture of if I can get it in, because it's narrow road, so we can get right to the end with no cars there. So yeah, so next time I'll see you will be with the images and the first look, so see you soon. Okay, so today didn't go really according to plan. We got to Mam Tor, the parking was rammed. I tried to park, I scraped the bottom of my car on a rock, so I was like, no, we're going. So then I tried to park up at Winnett's Pass, and again it was really full there, but I did get a parking space. But then I looked under my car and I could see some liquid dripping from where I scraped. Now when I touched it, it did just smell like water, even though there's no smell. But so I was like, right, I'm going to not chance it, I'm going to go home. It's going to be full at Bamford Edge as well, so I decided to pack it in for the day. But then on the way home, we got to Bugsworth, and there's a basin there called Bugsworth Basin, which I decided I've always wanted to shoot. I've never been down, but I've heard it's quite nice to shoot. So what I did, I took the camera out down there and took 10 shots, and then bumped into my mate Darren, and we went to the Navigator Inn for a quick pint, which was nice to see him. So yeah, and then on the way back on the road from the main road to Buxton from Stockport, I think it's the A6 at that point in time, there's an old bus stop that's a brick one. So I've took a picture of that, and it should just fill the frame because there was a car in the way and I needed another foot further back, but I couldn't. So we'll see how that one works out. That was more of a tester to see about going back when the light's better. So yeah, I've just dropped the film off at DS Colour Labs in Didsbury. They are going to do negatives for me, and then 5x5 images, so it should be 12, but because I screwed it too fast at the beginning, there's only going to be 11. And also they are going to do some digital transfers for me, so I will get a WeTransfer email. It's now Saturday, and they've said by Thursday at 3 o'clock. I checked my emails, I should get a WeTransfer email to say download the files, and then once that's done I can come and collect it. And all that for $16.99, which I didn't think was that bad myself when I've looked. When I did the black and white ones in Tesco, they charged me nearly 15 quid just for 12 images and the 5x5 prints. So what I'll do is I'm waiting for the images now, and then the next little bit will be me showing you the images. What I'll do is I'll show you the ones that they've sent me, and I'll do a little bit tweaking in Lightroom to see how it comes out as well, and show you the before and after, and then we'll go from there. Hello and welcome back. It's been a week and a couple of days since we went out to Bugsworth Basin. Finally got me prints from DS Colour Labs. It took a little longer than we'd liked because they had an issue with their recording and scanning bits of hardware. So went and picked them up today, got me WeTransfer back. Overall, I'm impressed with the quality of them, the prints that is, and also the WeTransfer, even though I chose the cheapest one. The colours are okay, they're good, can't complain. One thing I do say as well is using the light meter app. Overall, it's not too bad. They're not highly under or overexposed. The sky's a bit white in some places, but that's just because I was just metering for the whole scene rather than just the sky. So what we'll do is we'll crack on with the first image and we'll go from there. So here is image number 1. So this image, like most of them, well, all of them, is a snapshot really of just around Bugsworth Basin. What you can see now on the screen is the downloaded scanned image on the left, and on the right you've got the photo that I put into Lightroom. It was a JPEG, and I just clicked auto to see roughly what outlook would change compared to the scan I got, and also I put the sharpness up to by 25%. As you can see on this first image, bear with me 1 minute. On this first image, we've just got this little wall here. What drew me to it first was the reflection in the water. It was a lot better. I didn't really capture the reflection. There was a little bit. As you can see, the one on the left, it's not too bad of an exposure, but the one on the right that I did in Lightroom, you can see a bit of the brickwork is a bit lighter. A few shadows in the trees are lighter. At the top left, I'm not sure whether that was the trees moving or if it's a bit of light leak going on, but there is a bit of there on the left. So we'll see what that is. So that's number 1. First of all, happy as it came out. Haven't got a grumble. The only thing I've got to say, overall, the camera isn't great at infinity. It's not the sharpest. It's not blurry as such, but it's not pin sharp. And that's the moral of most of the images, which you'll see, apart from one, which is my favourite one, which we'll come to in a minute. So, there's image 1. Image number 2. Originally, that boat wasn't there, and there were some good shadows again, which drew it to me. So where we was looking, so where that boat is, that's where I was stood for image 1, and we're looking back to where I'm stood now. So that boat wasn't there originally, and there was some cracking reflections. But then the boat turned up, and I was like, that's quite a nice image. Again, it's just a snapshot, just to test. As you can see, between the two, there isn't much difference. Very little in the trees, probably at the top right, you can notice more between them. It's a bit greener, a bit lighter, but that's really it. So that's image 2. Again, happy with it. It's not super sharp because I think that's just the camera, because I had it at infinity for this one. Yeah, but happy overall with image number 2. Image number 3. This is one I just like the 2 bridges. The vans, they annoy me there. I'd like no vans and cars in the images, but it was a busy day. One thing to note is I did put it to infinity, and those flowers in the middle of the scene were pinpoint in focus for my eyes when I was looking in the camera. But when I've looked through my little 10 times viewfinder on the actual image, they are just out. They're not out of focus. They're not pin sharp, and they're a little blurry. And I don't know if that's just the camera being the camera because it's a 1980s camera, but we'll see. But as I say, for the most of the images, it's that's what I'm saying. It's not pin sharp, but when you look at the image, unless you're pixel peeping or sharp and peaking, you're not going to really notice. It's just, it's a nice image. So overall, again, there's not much difference in the two. Once I've done auto in Lightroom, it's lightened things up a bit on the grass, again on the right. Shadows have been dropped to get a bit as well. Not much difference in the sky really. But yeah, again, just a snapshot. So number 4. This one, I like this image. There's a few things I'd have liked different, and I liked it a bit more lighter. On the left, where the geese are, I'd have liked to see them a bit more. The sky itself's quite a good sky. My thought here was the bridge with the old train car and the boats. So I've captured everything I wanted to. I tried to use the gravel coming as a bit of a leading line, and then you've got the one on the left as well. So you compose this one a little bit more, and I'm quite happy with it. What I'm not happy with, and it is only on this image, is if you look to the sky, there is a load of squiggly lines and worms. Now, they are on the digital scanned, they are on the printed, and they are on the negative. So I don't know if this is the film itself, dust in the film. It is mainly only on this one that I've seen. So you've got all these squiggles, which will highlight, and you've also got these 3 dots. Now, at first I thought they could have been birds in the sky, but when I zoomed in and used my ×10 magnifying glass, they don't look like birds, but they could be. But overall, I'm happy with the image. I could go through in Photoshop, clean it up a lot, and probably get rid of all the squiggles. I may do that if I want to put it on a website or on Facebook or whatnot, but for this, I've just left it as it is. The only thing I've done is like put it into Facebook, Lightroom, auto, 25%. If I do edit these properly for a website, I will edit them myself and not just go through auto and Lightroom. I just wanted to show you what Lightroom thought the exposure would be compared to the scanned images. So that's number 4. So this is image number 5, just a bridge looking down. Quite liked it. There's a heron stalk on the right there. Bottom left, there is some tape that I don't like. I did think I thought I cut it off, but I didn't. But it's overall just a nice, pleasant image. Again, just a snapshot, just to test the camera out. There isn't really much different, again, from the scanned one and the Lightroom one. And that's it, really. So that's image number 5. So number 6 and 7 are the same image, but I naffed up with my cable release. So I've got one of these old-fashioned cable releases, and with this, what you do is you press it, which takes your shot. But if you're doing a long exposure, you untie this bit, click it down, leave it, and then press it when you want to release the shutter. Now, I was just shooting where I pressed it, and it just does this. But twice on the 6 and 7 shot, and then the 8th and 9th one, it undid itself, pressed it down, so the shutter speed was down for a while till I realised, and I thought I naffed up the shots. But as you can see on the 2 shots in a minute, the 6th one that we're looking at now, this is the one where it got stuck down. It's not that bad. As you can see, again, the focus, it's a bit blurry. I thought I had the flowers in the middle on the bridge, pinpoint focus when I was looking in the viewfinder. But yeah, that's just a pleasant image, nothing really again. But if you look on the next image, which is number 7, the overall tone colour is different. Number 6 is probably a little warmer, and this one's maybe a little greener. But yeah, so this was my correct exposure with the correct shutter speed, what my app was giving me. So there's not much to say really, just a bridge image. I liked just the view of under the bridge and going from there. So number 8, again, I was on the top of a bridge, again with the cable release. I naffed up, it stuck down. But again, it's not done anything to the image. It's actually quite a good overall exposed image. So I mustn't have noticed it too long that I pressed it. You can see a bit of the sun in the water at the bottom right. And it's quite a nice image. So, but as I say, I thought I ruined this image because of the shutter speed. So the next image I got, the boat that's in the middle, as you can see, is actually right in the middle of the image now. And personally, I prefer it. But yeah, again, it's a lovely exposed image, not too much wrong with it at all. Focus is a little, again, the same as I've always said. When the Lightroom, there's not much difference. There's a little bit in the trees, a bit greener, a bit punchier, but that's about it. And at this point, I bumped into my mate Darren, and we got talking. We went for a party in the Navigator, and I saw this next image. So this is number 10. So this is just when you sat down in the pub, when you come out the pub to the beer garden, that's what hits you. And I just liked it, and I thought it'd make a cracking shot, 5x5, and it has done. And this is the one where the focus has actually worked. I focused on the gnome, the sign, and the farming equipment in the background, and it's actually in focus. When you look at it, it's well exposed. everything's okay. It's a little dark maybe in the leaves, so the shadows could have been less, but again, I was just doing a overall light meter. I wasn't getting a few different ones because I didn't have a spot meter, so I couldn't. But then when you look at the Lightroom one, you can see the signs a little brighter. You've got punchier colours on his waistcoat. But yeah, overall, this is my favourite image of the afternoon. I only got a 5x5 print. I would be tempted to get this one a little bigger just to see how it comes out of a big print. If I was to get any of the ones I've took. And then after this, I've only got one more, which didn't come out too well, which is photo 11, which I saw this on the way down. I quite liked it, just as an old building. I did want to get further back, but I had to park across the road and there was a car there, so I was right up against the car. If that car hadn't have been there, I'd have got 2 foot, 3 foot further back, and then I'd have got some side bits. At the top, at first I thought that was a light leak, but like on the bottom right hand corner. But then looking at the actual negative, it looks as though it's just been cut off and it's not been exposed developed properly. And I don't know if that's because it's the film and I've wound it too much, wound it too little, or not. I need to look into that one. Now there is only 11 images, and that's because, as you've already seen, I did naff up when I was scrolling the film. I went to number 2 instead of number 1. So yeah, that's the images. So overall, I'm fairly happy with them. It was a good test. Got nothing to complain about. Maybe the focus, I need to look into that to see if it's the camera capability, if it's my eyes or whatnot. Like I say, it is an old camera, so it could be that. So I'm just looking at the camera, it's just over there. That's out of picture there. So it is an old one, but overall, I'm okay with it. My whole experience getting the processing, as I say, I took it to DS Colour Labs on Saturday that I took it. They said it should have been ready by Thursday. Heard nothing off, rang them Thursday. They said, oh, the machines have broke, it'll be a couple of days. Today's Monday, rang again, and they said, yeah, it was ready. We transfer within 5 minutes, and then went down, picked them up, got them, looked at them, great. What I don't know is, I don't know how they scan them. So I don't know if they scan the negatives and then put a colour profile on themselves, or if they just scan the actual images, the prints, should I say, with a scanner. I was going to ask to find out, so then I could know roughly what I'm comparing, whether it's the negatives with a cover profile on, if so, what profile, or if it is just the print that they do. It was too busy to ask. With it opening up now, obviously, this is Monday the 19th, so COVID's kind of cutting down now, so you don't have to wear your mask and everything along those lines and things like that. So it was quite full in there, actually. You still only could have 4 people in, but I was the 4th one in, and then there was 3 people waiting, so I didn't want to hold up the time. So I'm going to email them, maybe ring them, find out what the crack is about their processing for doing prints and digital copies, and also want to see what paper they're using to print them on. So I believe it could be Kodak, because they've got Kodak Moments on the envelope that it's coming. And when I got some done at Tesco, when I first ever used this camera at a car show, theirs came in a Fuji, and on the back of the image it does say Fujifilm paper. That doesn't actually say what paper is. There is some numbers that I could probably Google and see, but we'll go from there. So yeah, overall happy with it. You know, went better than I thought it would. So we will be going back out again shortly to the places I wanted to go. I have just ordered some more film. I've ordered a ISO 160 colour, and a 400 colour and a 400 black and white. Kodak colour, and then 2 just cheap 400s. So yeah, they should come. I think Analog Worldland or Worldwide I got them from, quite cheap. They should be here tomorrow. So what we'll do is when we get them, we'll do a bit of an opening, show you exactly what they are, and then when we go out, I'll be putting the camera the film in the camera, sorry, on location, because I'm going to wait to see what it's like before we do that and go from there. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, something a bit different. Anyone got any tips, tricks, anything, any feedback at all regarding the images, just general analog film photography? Just put them in the comment. Every feedback's good, whether it's bad, shit, good, or whatnot. So as always, thank you for watching. I will leave it there, and on to the next one. Bye for now.